as the rounds wear on, but part of that is going to come down to kind of when they decide to turn up the tempo, when they find those moments to go for those quick, explosive openings with like the C's nade combo off the rip. You see that outside of B main a lot, or they'll set up for Jing to explode out of C mound, things like that to look for on this defender side. They kind of save those for those moments when it seems like Forsaken or somebody gets a good read on what their opponent's strategy is going to be. So you've got to be really aware of that kind of stuff as Bilibili.
Players getting situated still here on the stage. You can see the smiles and the laughter here from the side of Paper Rex. They're ready to have some fun as they look to get themselves back-to-back international trophies from Toronto all the way over here to Saudi Arabia, looking to take another one back with them. See if they're going to be able to do it, but of course there is plenty more on the line. The claimed crushed keys of your opponents. Also something that certainly would be a nice little cherry on top, but looks like we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and get ready to dive into the pistol here. As looks like we're going to have a couple sheriffs on the side of Paper Rex.
Yeah, they're just gonna throw the haunt out. Some smokes set up by Bilibili. So that's going to allow Paper Rex to grab an orb, get something pushed up past Rubble there. Meanwhile, the main forces of BLG making their way over towards B main, but it was a quick rotation over for Paper Rex, kind of anticipating this. There's a wall set up early, though, from Bilibili. And they're just kind of working the map, just looking to see if Paper Rex has stacked aside and seeing if they can figure that out and go somewhere else. But so far, Paper Rex holding it close to the vest.
Good hit.
Top of the wall there. Late linger from Risha is going to be able to get himself a kill. So sheriff shot to the face, something going to be taken down. Nice little opener there. And that's going to call for a pivot here from Paper Rex, immediately believing in the push towards this A side of the map. But it's just BLG wisely cutting sound, keeping things nice and calm as they get ready to exec onto C.
Yeah, this is kind of Paper Rex thinking that Bilibili might try to punish that kill because often something is playing by himself. Gonna dump some util here for Bilibili to make sure that the C side is clear. Devi gonna be aware of this, and now you're gonna see Paper Rex already starting to fan out, but look at Rushia, so ready here for this lurk from Patman. Let's see if Patman with that sheriff can do any damage.
Oh, shot's gonna be flying, and yep, just can't quite register where they're coming from fast enough. Ends up getting taken down. That's Rushia now with 2 kills. Pinchos at the ready. Jing just kind of dancing around the wall. Does get a couple shots into YZ, but YZ gets the better of him. But Forsaken now swinging around the back, trying to make his way in towards Mound. Gonna find themselves all alone. The shot goes whizzing right past YZ's shoulder as BLG will take the opening pistol.
Yeah, that's huge for BLG. And the pistol rounds continue to plague Paper Rex, something that was a persistent problem in Toronto. Even though they won the event, their pistol rounds were pretty not good. Put it nicely. It's a nice little flick there from Rushia. Catches Patman having to check a bunch of different angles. That's a great little off angle that he's taking there to punish that lurk. So already seeing some good homework being done here by Bilibili, anticipating a lurking player. Often it's going to be Patman who's trying to find those openings on this side of the map.
Quick little entry over the top of Rubble, but Forsaken able to get a stray headshot across. Prowler not finding Jing. Paranoia will tank it here from his teammate. 2 players up over the top. He's trying to find either of them, but cannot get it. It's a bit too whiffy there. Not even that much damage going to be dealt to Levius. Rusha does get tagged down to 62, but there's that regen armor in behind. Shots whizzing past. Forsaken going to look to try to go on to timing. Is rewarded for it. Comes away with a kill. Weapon now going to be upgraded. A Bulldog in hand. A real chance to try to make a go at this Thrifty. Devi filling space. Creeping up here just alongside the smoke, playing on the outskirts as Forsaken finds himself a third, and suddenly Neff tagged up all alone here at backside, running low on bullets, and Forsaken will seal the deal on it, a 4K to get the Thrifty in a tied up scoreline.
Your Masters Toronto MVP picking up right where he left off, getting the huge eco round win for Paper Rex. And this is part of what propelled them to get that trophy. Was their ability to recover quickly from pistol round losses. Oh, right through the smoke on a K-Knight.
Just brutal for him.
I mean, Jason, just absolutely so ferocious. And just great little game plans around those smokes for Paper Rex in that round. You know, Jing, even though he doesn't get any kills, it was a really good idea. And it's not going to be contested this time. Rebel control by Bilibili. It's going to be seeded over to Paper Rex. It's going to use that to grab another orb. Starting to get close to some ultimates.
Oh.
Hello, Olivius.
Yeah, great little headshot on the swing. He's a Vandal behind here. Wisey has that in hand. There's plenty of firepower available to the side of BLG as Forsaken dropping down off the top of Rubble. Sends at the Paranoia, but K-Knight not caught by it. Finds himself a very nice headshot. Jing in reply, though. Peels one back, but cannot protect that weapon, so it will be recovered.
Cover going out.
That's a huge upgrade here. It's Bilibili continuing their march forward. Going to be a little bit late on the rotations. Are a couple members of Paper X. Something winning his duel.
1-1, but then Neff coming up big. Gets rid of both the duelists here.
Spike planted.
Still just the Sheriff in hand here. 4K Knight Neff down to 30 health. Livius relatively untouched, but armorless in the round. Maybe a bit of a split here. Divide, Patman going their separate ways. Neff immediately cutting away from Tree. All players now going to be contained here. In backside, there's the first to fall. Divide finds it. A couple shots coming in, but Divide looking indomitable as the blind is out and Patman can collect. Paper X. It's a good effort here from BLG, but PRX are going to be standing tall and now gaining the lead 2-1.
Yeah, some good trades on both sides. Neff leading the charge has the Omen there for Bilibili, but Paper Rex, Divide, great at those tight angles. Think back to that ace at Masters Toronto. Absolutely nasty stuff from him. This right here, quick there on that first kill. Second one had to readjust. Still quite a bit of util left for Paper X, but they didn't really need it. Just getting it done with the guns, and the blind at the end for Patman. Gonna set him up nicely to close out that round. Still looking at some of the alts. Some of the big ones still a couple away. Just gonna be the Omen that has his. Forsaken could TP somewhere if he so chooses, but for now, just another kind of full stack attempt at rubble control, but BLG doesn't like what they see. They're going to make a pivot, quick pivot. Look at this wall over at Pillar for the Vice on their backside. BLG anticipating rotations.
Quick entry, though, here from Wisey as the paint shell does get lobbed in. Wall holds the rest of the players at bay, but Forsaken flushed out of the smoke. Stray shots there from Rushit, just on a timing.
Planted.
Able to find it. Boombot going to be confirming at least one over towards upper, but something dead on the entry swing. Ends up getting taken down as the trades start coming through here, but ultimately it's going to be BLG standing tall. Some chaos here on the B site. BLG keep it neck and neck.
Yeah, this is a nice entry. A good find there as they get right into that B site. Get ahead of the wall a little bit and just catch Forsaken trying to spam through those smokes. Something Paper X and a lot of teams obviously will want to do. Something gave away the script there with that flash. Able to tuck into the corner was K-Knight. And he didn't get full flash, did a nice turn on it, was able to punish something, anticipating that quick push out. So now, it's gonna be a weaker buy here for Paper X. 3 players with Sheriffs, a Guardian, and a Hero Vandal for Forsaken, and he's gone.
Yep. Just dead right outside of B main. You're not able to find him. Some continued pressure here, gaining control of Mound. It breaks to make that unassailable here for BLG. At least not without significant cost. Something now. Just backpedaling, drifting a little bit deeper into the A site. Needing to respect that Viper wall when it does get raised. It seems like, though, after a bit of a break in the action, BLG just going to look to default around, explore other sides of the map, and wisely are reading that Paper Rex have looked to really collect their forces together into one position, which does leave Mound completely exposed.
Yeah, and I think part of this is recognizing that the Vandal was over on A now, and kind of if they were keeping track of the economy, which I'm sure they will, they know that maybe C would have been the site with the Sheriffs. And it's going to be one step away from a showstopper for YZ, one away for Rushia, for the Viper's Pit as well. Something tucked into this box. He loves to try to find these off angles. He's going to pop it.
Able to find it at the same time. Jing taking down K-Knight. It's a bit more costly. It's something for now going to be held at bay by the paint shell. YZ dangerously low. 31 with the shielding there as well. As it's going to be Jing with a showstopper to try to entry, and Neff finds a headshot. He just doesn't send the rocket fast enough, and YZ still standing. Cleans up Divine.
Planted.
Now something's position should be completely and utterly red. Trying to find his way back into the site from here. Looking to be nigh impossible, could potentially make it a little bit more costly, but seems like the call to save is going to be made.
Felt like maybe Paper X was going to have a moment there. But with that showstopper claimed by YZ, they took a pause. We're trying to assess the situation. And Jing thought he could get in there with that showstopper of his own. See if he could maybe suss out where YZ was. Get ahead of the curve, but just shut right down by Neff. Having a really nice start to this. 4-3-3. So far, I really like the calling here for Bilibili. They're doing a really good job of finding openings on the map, finding those picks, and then making moves off the back of that.
Well,
oopsies.
Seems like there's some laughter, but a bit of a gifted kill, I suppose, at the end as Neff goes down to the spike explosion. Maybe we'll see it in the replay.
30 seconds left.
Either way, an attempt to crunch through that C door, but trades quickly do come in there.
My ultimate is ready.
One enemy remaining.
Not able to get that rocket out. Wanted full confirmation on a player's position, try to ensure the kill, but instead ends up losing his life as well as the ultimate. So BLG back into the driver's seat. Paper X looking like maybe taking a quick pause here.
Yeah, might be time for Alex to step in, try to right the ship here a little bit. It definitely feels like Paper X, when they've tried to be proactive, it's been just dodged, sidestepped by Bilibili. They haven't really gotten caught by any of the traps or any of the kind of early push-outs towards rubble, things like that. In fact, they've swatted a few of those away. So now you got to talk about how you want to play. You know, are you going to be a little bit more reactive? Like some of the Paper X ideas on this defender side can be to kind of lull your opponent into a false sense of security. Give them the idea that something's open, whether it be rubble or C-mound or something like that, and that's where they have a trap set up to collapse on you. You know, maybe a player behind the door at C to kind of swing that open, and then they all come flooding in, or just, you know, send a player over by that box that's by the breakable door, and then some in tree and things like that. Could be on the cards, or maybe just one of the classic Paper X just fast hits, but I don't see the setup for it.
Okay, rush attempt play here, showstopper. Oh, doesn't go up in towards upper, so Batman able to get away from that one scot-free. Why is he now going to be walled in? Devi trying to hound things down here and hold down this angle outside of C-Mound, but ends up losing the fight, and very quickly things spiral out of control for Paper X. Paint Shell up and over the top for a second, looking for the timing, trying to get that third transfer. Does well to find the two, but can't quite manage to go ahead and bring this back to parity. Instead loses his life, and something once again left to his own devices, trying to pick up the pieces.
And he's got 0 creds behind this. Is he actually going to make a go of it? Nope.
It's like, well, he tried to make a go of it.
Yeah, he did.
The go just didn't get started, so quickly dealt with BLG. A very explosive round.
Yeah, wow. I mean, they are really firing today. You can see still the energy not quite there for Paper X, trying to find their groove. I mean, Forsaken, it's a hell of a transfer here. Just 1-2, a great flash setup by something for him.
One enemy
He makes the most of it, but K-Knight able to pop out the smoke, get the job done. But so far, so good on this attacker's side. Now you're going to see that Bucky. Jason, he likes to get close to this door. It is going to be Rushia, though, with an outlaw. They're going to just tag him up just ever so slightly. A little bit of a wall bang. But, yep, that is going to be the play here. This gives a lot of map control on these eco rounds for Paper X. Get this Bucky at the front of A main. Rushia just going to plant his feet and wait it out. Got to really credit the way Rushia has been playing this Viper. Doing a good job of tracking some of these flanks for Bilibili. Meanwhile, Paper X just setting up 2-2 on the other side. Going to let Jason kind of do his thing potentially. You would think they'd be aware of some of these traps, but with so many layers to these traps, this can really give opponents trouble. Saw it all the time at Masters Toronto. Good clear there with the util.
Noya, oh, he's right below him. Forsaken with the eye on Bucky once again doing wonders. Does get traded back quickly as something similarly loses his life, but somehow even paranoid that close should have been able to spot him out. Outlaw will be able to find the shot, but Patman quick on the corner swing. Sound rush up, but Defi is not ready for YZ's position up on top of the pillar. It's getting taken down now. A 1v2 for Patman was a clutch god for Paper X over at Masters Toronto. See if he can work that magic a little bit more. Nightfall's there, but be a hefty investment to try to go for, and it seems like footsteps have been heard. YZ noting that from his forward position towards stairs.
Yeah, really nice setup here for BLG. They can take their time. There's still a paint shells So, I mean, so much to clear here for Patman. He's going to have to tap the spike, see what the response will be. There goes that paint shells. Yep, just dealt with quickly. YZ with the paint shells into the wall bang. And a fist bump there as BLG on the march. Doing a great job. Just really finding some nice openings. That's a great shot. Woo.
A fantastic one, then gets the follow-up. It's a nice quick trade from Patman to be able to put him down, catching him off guard. But and BLG playing a bit more sneakily here and hitting some very nice shots. So Paper X still going to be reeling here as the lead now gets stretched up to 3 rounds. Cycled back into a full buy. There's Forsaken picking up his favorite, has the Odin now in hand, just spamming through, but BLG doing well to go ahead and avoid these stray shots.
And with so many ults available for Paper X, you have the Dimensional Drift, you have matching Fade and Viper ults. Something, again, tucked behind the box.
I have the spike.
Just looking to see what he can do. Meanwhile, BLG matching the patience that Paper X is showing. Doing a great job there. Clear from Rushia. Going to be any kind of punish. Just Forsaken checking to see if they've already cleared rubble. Spraying through, not finding any damage though.
They're not. Jing swinging out, able to find one. Rushia going to be taken down. Devi is going to be trying to play as passively as possible as YZ getting caught off guard here as the door tap comes through. Fight back, however, from BLG is still looking good. They bring it now into a 2v2 with the aforementioned Devi still hovering at 20 HP. 2v4 forward onto the Thorns. Tiny bit of damage going to be suffered there from Nephis. Devi looks to try to take their weapons away. It's going to be matched. Going on the opposite side. It's Forsaken finding the first. Neff going to be taken down. Levius waiting on how he wants to try to play this one out. Out of the noise flash, still going to be confirming his presence here on this B site. Taps it now, sticking it with just 10 seconds remaining. The plant will come through.
Spike planted.
Forsaken making plenty of noise here, trying to distract as the swing comes through, and Devi hits the headshot. Paper X will break the win streak. Close the gap now, just going to be 2 rounds separating.
Yeah, this is one of those plays that you'll see sometimes from Paper X. Where they get planted behind that C swing door, come out, and they get a team ace as well. Everybody getting involved. So a really nice round. Let's see if that can get some momentum here for Paper X, but Bilibili making them earn it. Even in the round they win. Oh man. Close to a sick transfer there. Forsaken with that Odin. Clean as usual. Like you said, setting up for Devi very nicely. Teamwork still there. Now you've got a showstopper to worry about for YZ.
Thanks.
And that's going to bring the Vice Wall over towards C. Seems like Paper X is anticipating that it might be an A hit. And they're just going to explode forward. Rushia not interested in that at all. He is just backing right out. And, you know, BLG, they've been doing a great job on this B site. So let's see what they can find here. We have the Vice Wall set up along with the Thorns. Kind of been the default here for Devi coming into this one. But no contact. They're worried about some of those tight angles that Paper X has been holding. You know the Odin's over here. You know Forsaken's there. Are you going to try to challenge that? He's pretty far out there, but this is all bait again.
Oh, those shots. Almost connecting. Jing, the second layer here. His paranoia timing is going to be perfect, but Rushia with covering fire, able to go ahead and keep YZ safe. Jing gets taken down. Rubble control now firmly in the hands here of BLG. Mask goes on something. Sprinting forward to the Dimensional Drift. As Nightfall will look to try to hold them at bay. Connects on to damn near everybody over here at Tree. As answering one's going to be coming through, but something on the swing timing ends up getting taken down. A great shot from YZ, who does get traded back. Chaos ensues here on the site as there's just basically no audio for anybody. Vi looking for the timing. Swings cannot prevent the spike plant, however. It's now in play. BLG still with the advantage. Trying to bait them forward. Clears the flash. Playing out just a little bit wider. Alt now cleared. They know that he's not sticking it. They know that he's not got to the half. And with the double face, BLG will lock up a 6th round win here on the attack.
Yeah, really good patience being shown by Bilibili, waiting out their Fade ultimate. And Paper X commits 2 big ones, the Dimensional Drift and the Nightfall of their own. And like you said, it catches everybody, but Bilibili takes that moment to pause, to wait for Paper X to try to make their move, and they throw their counterpunch. It works a treat. Not much Devi can do there. And it's been really, really solid. That's got Neff on his feet. Bilibili on a roll, 6-3 on their attacker side so far. 3 more to go. It's going to be an eco for Paper Rex. Stinger for Devi. A couple sheriffs, something with just a classic, and Rushi has got Forsaken down.
Outlaw continuing to sing here for him. Something will just drift over, pick up the sheriff. No further combat to be found, though, around that A side of the map, at least not yet. BLG site's currently set on C. And Russia again drawing blood. Jing maybe slipped the net. Seems like no, the read is going to be there as the snake bite. Not quite lobbed in properly, but Russia still able to get the readjust. The double push forward, looking to try to get the jump, but why is he going to be just a little bit too fast here to be put down? Because that's going to be a flawless here. First one of the map. BLG locking in a lead here at the half, at the very least. And how big that lead's going to be, we have to just wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, the mechanics look really sharp as well for Bilibili. Haven't mentioned it, but I mean, Rushia is an absolute nightmare.
That is a hell of a shot.
That's a flick and a half. But Rushia is such a tremendous player. I think definitely deserves a lot more talk on the global scene. The coaching staff for Bilibili happy with that one. You know, something that they struggled with at times in Toronto, getting momentum, finding some good, advantages outside of their opening match. Now they're looking really, really strong. There's a big shift in utility for Devi here. All this Vice util set up over in tree.
Hunt had the reveal. That trail there for just a moment longer, and something does manage to go ahead. Trace it right over to Neff, but YZ still very much on point. Quickly trades it back as something, trying to see if anyone goes swinging forward into backside. YZ, however, playing at the rope. Something cannot get the flick in time. YZ striking again, 16-5-1 at the moment, looking for more. Out for blood, but Forsaken. Go ahead and make sure that he is sated for the time being. Holds him off. Pit now going to be invested as, oh boy. The timing, a bit awkward there for Jing. That's going to take it down. Reload can't come through. Spot out on the one. The spray from Forsaken. Gets some connections, but cannot find the kill.
Last player
K-Knight managing to stay alive as Russia once again striking. Patman now dead. Forsaken with everything to do.
Cover going.
Has one low, but K-Knight plays around the pit very wisely and gets BLG now up to 8.
What a round there for K-Knight. Catching Jing as he's getting ready to try to clear the Viper's pit. Just not anticipating that BLG would get that aggressive. This is one of the more aggressive rounds we've seen from them in their post-plant positioning. And it caught Paper Rex really off guard. YZ there, even pushing up the rope on A. And shutting down Jing there so huge because he had the showstopper. And that could have been
so much further.
A powerful tool at cleaning that ultimate. And yeah, that's...
Quick cutaway.
Yep, we've seen that scene before.
Yeah, right now it just feels like everybody from Paper Rex taking their time to really try to get online.
Shadows travel.
Wiley just been Forsaken leading the charge. Everybody else at single digits here for the moment. Showstopper going to go out. It's a quick little lob in. No one there to receive the damage. Paper X just Wiley trying to scare them off and flush them in towards this A site. And it has worked, and they've got some quick pivots here.
Fake teleport.
Something setting up another gate crash here for the quick exit, making his presence known. Prowler not spotting. Headshot does connect. He'll get his and he'll get out.
That's what you like to see. When you're in a position like that, just get the one and done. Something good for it this go around. And that's going to make BLG have to rethink things. And look at this push out C-Mound. Oh no.
Just using the one way, but YZ is not going to be ready for the second layer. So Patman striking does manage to find that. Sees, not getting the connection. With just the Spectre in hand, Patman still dealing damage. Gets the headshot there on the K-Knight, putting him down to 8 HP. Levy at the same time. Trying to see if he can open things up, see if this A site is going to be safe, but something on the reposition. Tucked in to the exit. The swing forward, and Levius wins the fight.
Wow.
Suddenly into a 2v2. The quick pivots having to come through. Paper Rex rushing, trying to get into position and Devi with the Guardian at that range, going to be favored. Puts him down, and K-Knight now has his work cut out for him. Just the 8 HP. The tap, the instantaneous headshot. And has the time to plant as well. Does he have another one of those in the bank? We're about to find out. Prowler going to be set and Forsaken. We'll be able to flush him out. 8-4 at the half, but my God, Paper X had to work for every single round.
No doubt, that was some nasty stuff there from Bilibili. Looking really good on that attacker side in a lot of different aspects. Macro, micro, all of it shining.
Certainly are, but now they're going up against the double duels from Paper X, who are shifting over to the attacker side. We'll see how they fare after the halftime.
Toxins going up. Toxins screen. Enemy. Shut up.
One enemy remaining. There. One enemy remaining.
Alrighty, 8-4 at the half. Bilibili find themselves out in front here in our first series at EWC Valorant, and Paper Rex looking a bit out of sorts.
Absolutely. It did feel like they were a little uncomfortable. It felt like they weren't quite, in that form that we know they're capable of. Meanwhile, Bilibili comes in firing. I mean, YZ is absolutely frying right now. 17-7 in that first half. Russia 13-8. So when you got your anchor, when you got your entry playing like that, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for you, especially on that attacker side. And they take full advantage. Now crossover here through their smoke over towards the A side. 4 players. Devi going to be the trailing member. Try to watch for those lurks, and okay, dealt with, but a lot of damage taken.
A ton of it. Batman down to 75, Jing at 13 HP. Any stray bullet, go ahead and dispatch him. As Plant will come through. Far back linger here from Devi, Sheriff in hand, playing back Rubble. It's not quite going to be ready. As the vestiges of that flash do expire, Levius able to go ahead and collect the elimination. Puts it back to parity overall. As far as the player count is concerned, push forward, Levius with another heater of a shot, finds himself a third. Jing doing well to try to trade it back, but then Nev layering in here on the back end, cleans up something, and that's going to be yet another pistol going the way of Bilibili, as they now stretch the lead even further, up by 5.
Yeah, I mean, Paper Rex there tries to make a timing off of the paranoia, and Bilibili was just a literal step ahead. They're able to find that big kill. Jing goes flying in, finds a couple with the frenzy, but at the end, Neff comes up clutch, and Bilibili wins the second pistol, and that's a big deal, especially in this best of one. But Paper X, they're capable of coming back. They do it all the time, but it could be another one of those close maps, or who knows, maybe Bilibili just going to take over. There's a little bit of a buy up here for Paper X, a couple Sheriffs and a Marshal. YZ going to have that Outlaw, a couple Spectres, Stinger, and a Bulldog for Russia. So Paper X going to try to work their eco magic again. They were able to do it in the first half. Maybe a little bit more difficult this go around. Just going to grab some orbs, trying to get Jing fast track onto another showstopper. And Devi with the Marshal. Just gonna go fishing, as he likes to do.
He does. Nothing caught there, so we'll go ahead and try other waters as he's going to be shifting over towards the A site with the rest of the team. Everybody going to be clustered up, but this outlaw in the hands of YZ can absolutely wreak havoc. This haunt over the back there of Rebel going to be cleared out. Smoke coming through. Paranoia, seems like Forsaken trying to assess which angle he wants to go through. It's just going to be a bound out through the smoke. Something going to be good for one. YZ swaps over the sidearm, the classic, able to deal with the enemy Omen. Forsaken will fall. Smoke going to be dropping. Paper X once again looking to try to get themselves a quick little turnaround here on the Thrifty. Jing to go for the plant. It's just over halfway towards the showstopper. Couple weapons recovered. Armor values, however, keep them protected widely from this outlaw.
Not much util here for Paper X. Just gonna have to get it done with the guns. Meanwhile, still a Paranoia for Neff. Find some serious value, especially with all those players tucked in on backside.
Paranoia flying something, shifting the shot into the midsection of Russia. Able to strike him down. Jing looking for a little bit more. It's going to be something with the Sheriff, however, who finds the third kill. Neff now with everything to do. Jing at 8. A double face in towards the smoke. And Neff collects them both. Another fantastic go of it here for Bilibili, or rather for Paper Rex, to try to pull off the Thrifty. But man, Neff is just on one today. The spray connecting every single bullet where necessary.
Unbelievable. I love the idea there from Paper Rex to try to come from 2 different angles into that smoke. It's just the timing here for Neff is perfect. He sees the edge of him and just goes blasting. And he finds both targets. Massive round there. I mean,
Close
still,
one as well.
Yeah, still a ton of damage for Paper X, of course, but you almost kind of needed that eco.
But there was still a decent amount of investment as well. And it still will have a good buy behind here. It's going to be Devi with the attacking Outlaw, trying to see if he can get a jump peek out of Levius. Some noise to be made. Jing, 2 charges away from having that ult online. Be very important in trying to start to get a run back going.
Paranoia there backs the Bucky off.
Do they read this at all?
Well,
It's been the Forsaken special on this map. Do they anticipate that Russia is going to be looking to borrow some of his own tech?
plus you got K-Knight hidden with a Frenzy right behind Rubble. Another tricky position, especially if it's Devi with the Outlaw that's going to be cresting that corner.
Pulls off the ADS. You gotta suspect that was absolutely a no-scope. Quick reactions there from Devi, and not even much damage suffered. 92 HP with 33 armor still intact. Frenzy not really finding much value, just the one bullet widely connecting as Forsaken now slides in the flank onto the B site, catching YZ completely off guard. The Bucky, it's gonna be noted. Russia falls for the clone.
30 seconds left.
There's once again Neff left to his own devices. Try to make this costly, otherwise Paper X gonna be looking at a flawless anti-bonus, which is exactly what they need. And there you go, it will be confirmed.
Yeah, that's huge. You really needed that round to go very well, and it does for Paper X if you're gonna have a chance of clawing back in this match. Still 5 rounds down and able to read through some of those cheeky positions that Bilibili is trying to set up, and like you said, kind of, trying to take a page out of Paper X's book. And Paper X, they wrote that. They're the authors. And they are the masters at dealing with all of that in that round, at least. Showstopper for Jing. Maybe gonna set him up. Let's see. There he goes.
Only YZ with full armor, so Outlaw as well from Devi can still find some value. Jing in the meantime, though, desperately looking for any kind of prey that he can find. It will just be a showstopper to try to clear close upper here at the B site. The spike now brought into position. The plant ready to go through. Something watching behind.
Planted.
Outside of Baby Door, swings the corner, instantly finds the headshot. YZ dealt with, makes a retake. Very difficult here.
Sees
for
nade,
the side of
sees nade.
BLG. Sees nade going to be going through, and Russia completely caught up by it. Blown to smithereens. And widely, that's going to lead to a save call here for BLG. All players completely, utterly fanned out. Potentially at risk. Want to check the close angle. Levius dragging across, eventually able to find it. does suffer some damage. Looks like Jing and Devi gonna fancy their chances. And they're able to get the guns. The rest of the players looking like they're gonna be safe to go ahead and retain these weapons, but Paper Rex starting things off in the half correctly as Devi will go down. Ultimately not the worst, they'd have the Outlaw. But that is them starting to get on the warpath as they try to run this map back.
Yeah, this is just a pretty simple round. You just win a trade there. Nice quick peek from something, a season aid. You know, use the showstopper to open up the B site, and that's round done. So that's what you want to see. Good calling from Paper Rex. Still looking a little out of sorts though. Seeing that same kind of hype there, especially from Forsaken. Now you're going to use the dimensional drift. Try to get some information. TP right into it. Devi.
Oh! The 1-2 pump, able to find it, but cannot escape. YZ with that Phantom does manage to hound him down, but that is such good damage dealt. Devi on that flank, doing wonders here for the team to try to keep them protected. Spam through the box, forces a reposition. Nep's going to be flushed out of drop. K-Knight dead. So YZ's position, previously noted, should have a pretty good idea of where the approach is going to be from. It seems like they won't take their chances. The smoke off main, double stack into tree, as well as watch any other avenues of approach. So Paper X, they have this round on lock.
Hey, now the big question for YZ is, you know, he's looking for that showstopper. I want to try to keep the gun in hand as well. Money's still a little off balance for BLG.
Love to get a kill and get out.
Yep.
If he swung the corner now, Jason certainly would be at risk, and looks like he will be able to slide away to safety. So survives with 15 HP, does Forsaken. And YZ gonna have to wait till the next round to try to find that showstopper here for himself. Paper Rex, though, closing the gap, now just 3 rounds separating.
Okay. It begins. I mean, in some ways, it feels like it wouldn't be a Paper Rex match unless this went to overtime or nearly to overtime.
Very true.
Doesn't matter who the opponent is, it just kind of goes that way. Nice stuff here from Devi. I mean, this is something he's been doing a little bit more lately. You know, you see it on Sunset when he's on the Sage, he's going to pick up an operator, but seeing the Outlaw with him now, kind of a little bit of a different mix-up for Paper Rex, trying some new ideas, and, you know, Devi, a very steady hand with the snipers. You know, obviously you're going to think of something when you think of sniper rifles for Paper Rex, but Devi is no slouch. And I think this is going to be a timeout for BLG this go-around, trying to stop this momentum that Paper X is creating. And, you know, talking to Coach Bile behind the scenes in Toronto, just kind of, you know, frustrated at times with how the fundamentals would break apart for BLG. And you're starting to see it here where, you know, 1 player dies, 2 players dies, and then they kind of try to go for some hero plays, try to go for some maneuvers that maybe aren't optimal. Teamwork, very, very key for them. Making sure you're playing for those trades. Things that we saw on the attacker side that were going really, really well for them. Want to see a little bit more of that, I think. See if they can play a little bit safer, but, you know, some of those rounds were eco, sure. It's actually going to be Devi grabbing an Odin coming out of the timeout.
Okay. I mean, if you force everybody on the sidearms, Odin certainly could get some solid damage across. And Levius does similarly have the Steel Garden available for himself. Looking like it's going to be a pretty quick hit in towards this C site. For the moment, it is only Levius here to try to slow things down. Thorns will lock them in position as they wait out the wall.
Nice haunt.
Ulti at the ready, now going to be sent. Minor corner to try to get tucked into here for the side of Paper Rex. They wait it out. They're right back in. Spike now being brought to bear. Plant can come through, but YZ, that showstopper at the ready, up and over the top, and that's going to be Batman dead. The Spike now stranded here on the corner. Quickly scooped up by Forsaken, had dropped down low. Flash in, something scaling forward over towards Waterfalls, able to find one. Devi putting that Odin to use as the Nightfall now comes across. Sort of the audio, the swing, however, coming through, and Devi has the covering fire. Looks for a little bit more, but K-Knight
Down, C.
starting to go crazy. Noise made. Both players spotting. Armor regenning here, up to 21 for K-Knight. Jing with the advantage in that regard, and we'll be able to go ahead and get Paper X across the line, continuing to run this one back.
Woo! That one, Very, very close. K-Knight almost coming through with a huge 1v3. This is scrappy stuff. That's great timing on this showstopper and an out as well. Using that blast pack to immediately get back to safety was YZ. It's like this might go well. The trades were good for the side of BLG, but then Paper X
down, C.
able to just kind of hold the line, and BLG gets a little antsy trying to get into the site. They're back on an eco. Judge in hand for Rusia. Already around the corner.
Trying to just go for a bit of a crunch play here with those stingers in hand, but ultimately it's just going to be the one casualty as Jing gets taken down. 2 charges now away from his next showstopper here in the half. Russia in position with a Judge, but not going to go for a backside plant, so trying to close the gap and get a punish going to be a little bit more difficult here for him. Levius similarly, just with a stinger, is going to reroute down towards stairs, but Forsaken hovering nearby, waiting for this approach angle.
Yeah, you'd love to see Paper X just kind of plant their feet and wait this out. It's going to be the stinger identified.
Spot out of the one. Something with the Outlaw, able to find the punish. There's not much more for Russia to do, and it seems that they have a very solid read about his potential position. As just with the classic, Paper X representing. We'll get the spot out onto one.
I can't die here.
The tap to come through, trying to bait them back forward here to put this Judge to use to find some form of value, but kills will not be coming through. As a spike will go off, Paper Rex continue to run this back.
I like the idea from Rusia. Try to pretend like you're going for the ninja diffuse. Force Paper X's hands, but starting to right the ship. Steady now for Paper X. 5 in a row here on their attacker side. Still have the Nightfall for Patmen. 2 away from another showstopper for Jing, who's got the Judge. And it is a B hit. And look at this. BLG at least stacking their forces there. Are they going to be able to counter this? You see this a lot from Paper X.
Cutting through.
They need to get the ball rolling.
Sees there off the back of the Prowler. Jing to stay alive. Lets them know that there's going to be a Judge in hand here. Is Paranoia going to be sent? And they're all stacked up for him. Jing quickly collecting 2. The peeking from Neff just not able to find anything in reply whatsoever. And now Paper X look to try to reposition, repivot here.
I tried to play off that Paranoia to see if they could deal with the Judge. Not going to happen. Levius. A lot of work to do here.
He's had his rounds where he certainly has looked electric here for the team. Russia able to find one, but quick trade is found there by something. Fake TP forward, Forsaken re-exploring in towards B site. Looks like it's just going to be a wraparound into main here. As Neff now starting to step forward. Just has the half armor. So it would almost certainly be his demise if he tries to go for the wider swing all the way back across through the attacker's spawn.
30 seconds left.
You know there's one on A. You're still not exactly sure where that last member is, so Paper X going to be looking in a lot of different directions, trying to figure out exactly where Neff went.
To be in a rough position, though, if they really try to make a go for this, especially now. I think if you're Levius, you might just have to try to save this weapon. Would be the more measured play. Gets the spot up to 1, but it's going to be divided. Go ahead and collect the final 2. 10-10, we are tied up. Paper X. A dominant streak here on the attacker side, and BLG left reeling.
Yeah, finally, that's got a player from Paper X on their feet. Responding in kind to BLG. This push out, though, you knew the Judge was there. Still opted to challenge it. They paid the price. That's going to be a rifle recovered as well at the end of that round. Just, yeah. That's good. Something saying, yeah. We saw you standing on the other half. Now it's our turn. Let's see what they can do. Device still with that Outlaw, though.
On top and over the top, getting a big reveal there at C, and Device still able to come away with 1. Wisey quickly trades it back. Some damage going to be dealt. The showstopper lobbed in, point blank. Wisey dead. Gets destroyed as quickly the action will subside. This A side of the map, very much abandoned. It's BLG looking to try to go for that rush play. Only able to find the 1 kill to really show for it, losing out on 2 of their players. A weapon to potentially be collected is Levius. Maybe considering just some blind spray forward here into the smoke with that Singer in hand. a decent read that there could be a player positioned in it, but now it will expire.
Well, you know, Forsaken loves to play in those smokes. Trying to use the spike timer.
The barrel been spotted. It was just a hair off. Seeing a pixel Forsaken. He's not holding for the close angle.
Last player
Hits
standing.
one on the deeper one. Levius snapping to go ahead and find the headshot on the Jing. A little bit more value, but once again, it's something on his feet, and Paper Rex in the lead.
Yeah, this is starting to really run away. For Paper Rex, I mean, they're, what is it, 7-8 in a row now? I lost count because it's been a lot.
Yeah, I believe it's 7 rounds now consecutive. Either way, it's dominance on display, and it's another timeout call for the side of BLG.
One enemy remaining.
As this is going to be Coach Biles' last real attempt to try to right the ship to give us that potential overtime that you were alluded to. Obviously, still could run this back 3 in a row to take the map, but given the way that these rounds have been going, the value being found from Devi as well.
Yep. That Outlaw is really, really nice. A great pickup there, really putting some big damage into BLG's economy while helping keep, you know, it isn't necessary in this case, but let's say, you know, BLG gets around here or there, right? Then you're going to have that little bit of extra cash for your team to maybe buy a gun at the end if it's really close. So it's kind of hedging your bets a little bit. Now, that being said, it's just been so impactful, and Paper X in general has been so good that economic advantage not going to make much of a difference, but still a really good idea. And I think overall you're seeing good teamwork, good coordination from Paper X. They're making good map reads. And, you know, when Paper X kind of finds a pick or finds an overstack side, they're pretty quick to react to the other side. A lot of the things they're doing looking really, really good. A little bit of a different setup, though. YZ trying to take a push out. It is going to be identified there. A little bit of util, and that's going to send something out to reconfirm what the heck's going on behind this one-way.
Well, just hunting him down. Oh my God, he's just going for the timing. He's absolutely outdone him. YZ is there, but that is a something special, if ever I've seen it. Crunch coming through here at the door. Does leave the spike on the floor as Risha with the readjustment. Doing wonders to find that headshot. BLG now. A 3v1. They look to bring this back to parity, and Jing gets spammed out. A fantastic call off the back of the timeout. They completely catch Paper X unawares and off guard. They tie things up 11-11.
Love the decision-making here from YZ. Just using that blast pack to try to kind of convince Paper X that he's completely abandoned the C site, and something goes in with the dimensional drift, doesn't see anybody. He's like, oh, Neff's on his own. Free kill. Nope.
Your fear!
YZ was right there to strike, and then Rushia is going to open up the door. Hit a couple crazy shots. That second one on the Devi over the mound was nasty. Jing jumping, and Jing dealt with. Now operator for Devi, so it is going to be him still, mainly being that sniper. Haunt there, not able to be cleared by Neff, so you know where he's at, but a pit at the front of B. Rushia, shorty in hand, waiting to see if any Paper X players will challenge that pit.
Double face, looking to get the readjust, and we'll be able to have it. Something does manage to peel one back as Levius gets taken down. That's still going to be a player advantage here for the side of BLG.
Well, you should know that 3 are B and C, essentially, so A should just be a single player, and, you know, BLG aware of it too, so they're going to make a quick rotation. This is great calling from Neff. Timeout, working really well for BLG. Showstopper here for YZ. Here's the footsteps.
Just here around the corner, it's footsteps of teammate in from behind. Devi with that op shot, able to find one. Showstopper, don't even think he was intending to find Forsaken either way. Does go ahead and collect the goods. Now goes into a 2v2. The pit going to be abandoned. Things go quiet. Still the operator in hand here for Devi.
Has a steel garden, but is he even going to use it?
Smoked off for the moment. He's got it in hand. Looks like he is going to be sending this one here on time to swing out, though. Patman, it's a bit too early. Catches him. As now Shorty filling forward here into the smoke. Finds the leg shot. Trying to get the readjust. The shot going just a little bit wide. 2 HP. He cannot survive. Doing his damnedest, but it's going to be Neff standing tall at the end of it all. BLG get themselves up to map point.
We've seen this a lot for BLG, where they're just a step ahead of Paper X, of where Paper X is anticipating where they're going to be off the back of utility, or, you know, we saw it with a Paranoia earlier on Bilibili's attacker side, and now here on the defender side, they're just a moment ahead of the Steel Garden, And that puts Devi in a really tough spot. Neff there, able to get the reload, and Devi, not much else he can do. Tries to go for the classic of his own, but he was so weak at that point. And now it is map and match points. It's the best of one here for BLG.
Jing bounding forward, getting a reveal. Paper X needing to push this into that OT. YZ, however, cannot escape Devi. Perfectly timed on the flash as he swings out, collects the elimination, gives Paper X an advantage. It's going to be a TP forward into the B side. Paper X quickly pivoting through the baby door.
Yeah, with that op down, you suspect that he was on his own. And you guessed correctly. Neff, though, quick on the flank.
TP's past that wall, but Devi still holding the angle. And finds the headshot there. Neff going to be struck down. Jing trying to scale forward, take some space at upper, ends up losing his life for that one, but Devi collects the ult from the corpse of YZ and immediately puts it to use. Something hounds down Levius, looks for a little bit more, but it all falls on K9's shoulders. The 1v3, the high-low setup on the 90-degree angle. Ooh. Finds the first, the Devi does get dealt with, but can he clear this out? It would be legendary, and he cannot make it happen. Forsaken will find the final headshot as we go into OT off the rip here at EWC.
Told you.
We did set the stage for this.
It just is the Paper X classic. Just go into OT. And they're no strangers to it, that's for sure. And this is great work here by Devi. Fantastic flash timing. YZ, none the wiser. And Devi scoops that op up and has a phenomenal round. He is really playing great on that Vice.
Well, we'll take the moment to get the players ready here as the Berries get ready to drop for overtime. Paper X fans can go ahead and check their heart rates.
Just another day as a Paper X fan.
And we're going to have dueling glass cannon operators here as Rush is going to be bringing this one forward on the attacker side.
He's
certainly could catch them off guard.
Yeah. Oh, something. Not ready for it.
There you go. Draws the first blood. Now they know that that's something that they're going to have to give consideration to.
Ooh.
As Forsaken does find one, but K9 quickly trades it back, maintaining that player advantage here.
Now you have to make a decision as Paper X. You know, they thought about maybe challenging at Baby Door instead. Gonna wrap over towards Heaven. Try to make their go of this retake from there at a disadvantage. Op gonna be holding the flank. Grenade not gonna catch K-Knight. One away from a Nightfall.
Not deep enough. Shots a fly, but headshot connecting. Patman at the same time gonna be taken down as K-Knight gets traded out. It's all on Devi. And that blast pack previously set up offsets the aim. He falls to the wayside. Bilibili now have themselves up to map point.
Again, just kind of outguessing Paper X there. And it's Rushia with that operator to give them that early advantage. Not anticipating it at all. Was something trying to get that angle set up above the smoke for himself into a main to try to control that space, and it's just dealt with immediately. Therefore, Bilibili able to punish that and push through. This time the glass cannon op going to be in Devi's hands. On the attacker side, both teams on their attacking end. Thinking about it, no glass cannon though for BLG.
Because they brought it out on the attacking side themselves, this is now likely going to give Paper X pause and concern about there being a defending op.
Absolutely.
So they have to be a bit more methodical in their approach.
This is kind of the classic Paper X setup. You leave something to be this lurking player as the Yoru. Work around the smokes. Try to find some opportunities. Prowler going to be used because of the door opening at tree. Now you've got a full wrap in the other direction, but this is scary.
And you have this linger here from YZ. Devi does hit a nice shot, but do they read this position? YZ, a real opportunity to do some damage, and right now they're trying to spam him out, and Forsaken reads it beautifully. Widely damage going to be avoided. Tap of the door, it's going to be an immediate pivot now into the B site here for Paper X. Ball holds him back here for the moment. Devi still going to be doing well to come away with yet another kill, but Russia looking for a bit of a timing, and we'll be able to find one as Forsaken gets caught off guard. Lob it on the snake bite, sends it over towards default, looks to try to readjust, but Patman holds his own. Everything now here for Livius to try to prevent the reset. Here's the footsteps. Widely just baiting though for this angle, keeping something disguised. strikes when they least expect it. And that is going to be Paper Rex once again tying things up, extending us as we tumble down the rabbit hole that is OT.
Yeah, Devi again with the operator, providing so much value for Paper Rex. Finding that kill on the Neff as he goes for the peak. That just really breaks things open. It sends BLG scrambling to try to figure this round out. Right there, just beautiful stuff. Good angle. Thank God for Forsaken that he is watching that, because otherwise that looked like it could have been real bad, real fast, and it might have been map over.
It could have been just the map ending in the blink of an eye. Devi does bring this operator. This time, though, Rashid not going to have it in hand. Gets spotted out by the Haunt. Has to backpedal, give up that A-lobby space. Smokes cycling. Something now going to try his luck, tucking in behind the box. Devi playing forward out of the smoke. Re-peeks. Does manage to come away with the kill. Eats some damage, but Widely gets away scot-free. Spam onto the position. Something has to give it up. Gate crashes out to safety. At the same time, Jing
Bait and switch.
is having the bait there, coming through. Patman playing him in.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Him and Patman work so well there at B main. Time and time again, they have just absolutely smothered opponents. That was a position that was weak for Paper Rex, and they shore it up.
Oh, Devi. Down to 5 HP.
Oh!
It hits a headshot off the flick. This man is walking a tightrope. And he is not falling. The Forsaken shout. This wall gets popped here on the B site. And it's all a little bit of a fake to try to play K9 into the C site, it would seem. But Devi staying stagnant as Levius cannot hit the transfer. To swoop forward, and Devi is absolutely electric.
Man, oh man. 5 HP. And hits that headshot.
On the edge.
It's just disgusting.
A puff of air from one of those paint shells popping would have finished him off. He plays just in front, limit testing it to the extreme, and clips the headshot onto YZ to bring this round to its end. He is having a whale of a time.
He's having a whale
he
of
is
a map.
slingshot to the top of the standings.
27 kills. What a performance. No operators this time around, and look at Jing as the judge. And that means B hit here for Paper Rex.
BLG knows that this isn't going to be that implementation there of something, and they're counteracting the action on the B side very well. Spike isn't forward, it doesn't get stranded, but it's still 2 players down, including their smokes.
So ready for these B hits. You've seen the judge have a tough time, at least initially, getting into sight and doing any damage. Obviously, the last time they try to challenge, YZ, speaking of, going to win his against something.
Paint shells now, once again, going to be pushing Devi away. Great shot from Patman on the readjust. Prowler in his face. Shrugs that off.
Bring them down.
Call for the pivot across now into the C site. Horns and Arcos no longer a concern here for the team, but a 2v5 now into the 2v4 to try to bring this map to its conclusion.
And another
That's how
2v4.
Toronto ended. It was a 2v5. Quick trade from Forsaken to make it a 2v4, but it would be a hell of a way.
Chance.
As,
Enemy
well,
remaining.
Patman, Blair Witching, on top of the site, ends up getting caught off guard. Paranoia is on point, so YZ collects himself a third. Defuse on the spike, 14-14, we keep going.
My goodness. What a back and forth. You thought maybe, one team gets that defender side win, and it would change things up. And maybe Paper X was going to be able to come away with it, but nope, we go again. As this opening match for EWC 2025 is absolutely delivering.
Shadows traveling.
What a banger
Remaining.
to begin the tournament. Out you go. Yeah, no hope there for Devi. Was already noted in that position, or at least suspected. And it is going to be Rushia with that operator again, going to try to take control. Kind of anticipating that maybe something is going to try to double down on this position again, and he can outduel him. But just using this to gain a little bit of space, our Paper Rex.
Yeah, flashed off the angle, but otherwise still keeping this disguise. Taps, however, something. Able to find one Wisey, going to be taken down. Op now going to be confirmed as they look for the reposition. Finds the reveal. It's just chaos here as Neff is desperately trying to find any kind of kill that he could get, but Paper Rex, they get away scot-free.
Neff knows it. He's going to try to push the advantage. Gets into stairs. Levius noted by the Prowler. Things getting a little scrappy.
C is kind of getting bogged there on the wall, though. Doesn't get the rebound they were looking for.
Do they
very
know?
much leaves Neff needing to be the one to try to find the opener, and he does. Something going to be taken down. Risha, the op, still finding some value. 2v3. Devi on the swing, has the full flash there on the Levius. Quickly collects the kill. Spike now. Dropped back over by Tree and Box. Neff with everything to do. Just 58 HP to try to do it.
I have the spike.
Man, I thought for a second there BLG was going to break the round open, but with Neff's position catching something off guard.
Who's traveling?
What a timing from the Ascension champion back when he was on Bleed.
Tuck back from Jing, but finds the timing perfectly. Red there. Goes ahead, secures the round once again. Paper X up to map point. BLG needing to find yet another reset.
Oh boy. This is just, I mean, nice shot for Rushia, but quickly traded by Patman. Levius as well. Good trades all around, but Devi there, waiting it out. And something still wants him. Hold on, we're not done yet. Devi gonna have that operator. And it is gonna be match point again for Paper Rex. Quick push out for something, immediately backed off by the utility. Haunt, snake bite. Oh, and he catches Neff.
And he gets out. Keeps himself alive. Huge kill to be found. No more paranoia here for the attempt of the retake. Levius looking for a timing. Gets a bit more damage there onto something, but widely the wall eats up the bullets. Backpedals. Has to give it the space. The spike for now. Waiting up the wall to be brought forward. This plant gets ready to come into play. Something on the reposition. Aggressively repositions here. The drop at Waterfall. Snapping away, trying to find any stray shots he can get. Wisey scales off the back of that one. No trade to be found as K-Knight similarly finds Forsaken. Jing peels off a kill to push forward through the smokers. Just trying to play off the timings. Paint shells go flying. Jing finding the headshot. Or rather the body shot to take down Levius, and now has the showstopper to try to bring this to a conclusion, but it will be Devi. Standing taller than them all at the end. Paper X. Ever the nail biter between them and any opponent. But they managed to come away with the win here on Lotus.
A stunning match here to begin EWC 2025. Wouldn't have it any other way. And it is the normal results for Paper